Hey there, Dr. Mark here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to take your passion for nutrition and turn it into a profitable online coaching business. If you're passionate about nutrition and fitness and you love helping people, then online nutrition coaching might be the right job for you, especially if nutrition and fitness has had a pretty big impact on your life. After training hundreds of nutrition coaches, here's what I can tell you. Some of the most successful nutrition coaches, the ones that help client after client transform and make really good money doing it, have a burning passion for this stuff. They're the people that would be doing it with or without pay, but they know the best way to actually help people is to get them in a paid environment because people pay to their commitment level. These are the people that spend hours researching and investing to get better results for themselves and their clients. Always trying new approaches and protocols to stay ahead of the curve. They live and breathe this stuff. Actually, if I've discovered one common denominator for all nutrition coaches, it's passion. This actually sets them apart from other nutrition professionals like nutritionists and dietitians. Of course, those people in those roles can be passionate, but some of them see it as a job. But that's not the case with nutrition coaches, not a single one that I've encountered at least. Across the board, passion is what drives the nutrition coach. Nutrition and fitness has had a huge impact on their life. Maybe this is something they've struggled with or put a lot of energy in figuring out. Through trial and error, sweat and tears, they've finally figured it out, and it's only natural to want to pass that on. And this is what drives them to help more and more people. But, and there's always a but, sometimes this passion can actually get in the way of them helping more people. Oftentimes in ways that are really hard for most coaches to realize. Today I want to talk about the best way to share your passion for nutrition so you can land more paying clients for your love of this stuff, not in spite of it. The first thing I want to talk about is what's going on in your own life by letting people in on a goal. There's no better way to walk the walk with your clients than being right in the trenches there with them. You can show them that you're taking action to improve your own health. It makes you relatable and it might even inspire others to take action. Speaking of walking, let me tell you how I'm currently doing this. For starters, one of the reasons why I love data and a tracking-based approach is because you can assess trend. One thing I've noticed about myself living through Canadian winters year after year, and working at a job where I sit at a desk a lot is that outside of lifting weights, I'm not very active. And by not being very active, I mean some winter months, I struggle to get even 800 to 1,000 steps a day. I'm basically dead. This is a big impact on the amount of energy I burn on a daily basis and one of the reasons why I gain 5 to 10 pounds of weight every winter. Also, this is the complete opposite dynamic that happens in the summer or in periods where I'm moving around a lot. For example, I've coached at world level powerlifting events where I'm moving around constantly. It's not uncommon to take 25,000 steps a day in those environments. And in those periods, even when I don't have too much control over what I'm eating, I constantly lose weight, sometimes 4 or 5 pounds. So with that being said, I needed to find more ways to move through the winter. Before you say, well, just get out and move more. When it's been minus 30 for weeks and you're busy taking care of the health of everyone else, it's not that easy. But one simple fix I found was a standing desk and a walking treadmill. When I use these daily, I have no problem getting 8,000 steps in per day, and it's pretty easy to do. It's been a complete game changer for me. So I started to talk on social media about the blind spot in my own health and some of the straightforward, practical ways I was trying to fix it. And the people watching, well, they got interested. I started posting about this regularly, and my clients and the people around me, they started getting more steps in. Some of them even bought the same treadmill as me. When you show others that you're living the same life as them and you're trying to improve as well, you become relatable. Let people in on your goals and document anything and everything that's related to health and the stuff that they'd be interested in. You'd be very surprised at the impact that setting a good example has on your business. But you can't let this turn into a personal highlight reel. And I know this is going to be a little bit contradictory, so let me explain. We all know these coaches, and at times their approach seems a little too self-focused and a little too self-indulgent. All they ever do is post about them and what they have going on. This is problematic for a few reasons. While it's important to walk the walk like we just talked about, you also want to let others know that you can help them and not just yourself. So you can't just make your social media a personal health diary about your endeavors and what you have going on. The one trick that makes this easier is a simple mindset shift. Instead of making it about you, make it about them. For example, here's an exercise I did today. This is something I give to my clients that really helps them with blank. We see the same thing all the time with posting recipes. For some reason, people love to see what fit people eat. For whatever reason, they seem to think that they're getting away with something or they see behind the curtain and they want to know some secret that we're eating. Some secret that'll help them figure this all out. And we know that it doesn't work like that. And it's not that posting recipes is bad, but people need to know and you need to make it obvious that there's a next step to work with you. So instead of just posting a recipe, post a recipe and then frame it differently. For example, here's one of the most popular recipes I give to all of my fat loss clients. Can you see the difference? Although it's important to document all things nutrition, health, fitness, lifting, you don't want to just seem like a person that's interested in cooking and lifting weights. You need to make it really clear that you help others do the same. Which leads me to my last and final point, being helpful but not overdoing it. This is what I like to call the passion trap. You are so into nutrition and fitness, you will do anything to help others. And since you're so helpful at times, the lengths you'll go to help others might actually get in the way of their progress. Let me explain, because this is one of the toughest lessons I see Dr. Mark Method coaches learn every time I teach the course. Here's the golden golden rule. You can't want it more than the people that you're helping. This is their program, not your program. When you start to want it more than they do, they'll never do the work. You're the facilitator, you're the guide of this process. And ultimately, it's up to them to do the work. This is gonna make it more worthwhile for them now, but also down the road when they're not working with you. Because with this approach, they're finally gonna build the habits that actually change their lives and learn what works and what doesn't. The key here is being helpful and pleasant, but not doing everything for your clients. One of the smartest things I ever heard in this regard was this: don't do anything for your clients that they can't do for themselves. This was a nugget of wisdom given to me by a friend who's a social worker. This is a philosophy that they stand by because it's what truly helps people in the long term. See, since you really want to help and you're very passionate about this stuff, you'll do anything to help people. When you start to do a bunch of things that they can do for themselves, they'll actually start relying on you and not doing the work. This is something that social workers stand by because it's what truly helps people in the long term. See, since you really want to help and you're truly passionate about this stuff, you'll go above and beyond to try to help people. But when you start to do a bunch of things that people can do for themselves, they start to rely on you too much. And this is a trap that truly passionate nutrition coaches find themselves in. Sometimes it's as simple as entering data for your clients or doing some research for them that they could do for themselves. I'm all for going the extra mile as a coach, but help them do something as opposed to doing it for them. That's the real difference here. We see this all the time in the nutrition coaching world when our clients ask, why can't you just make me a meal plan? Nutrition coaches shouldn't do this for a few reasons. Number one being it's outside of their scope of practice, but it also doesn't work. See, clients think that by telling them exactly what to do, everything will improve. And things might get better at first. Maybe someone gets some results, but they don't really learn anything or do the work that's really required to change. And that's where the magic's at. If a client really wants a meal plan, you can work with them to create one or review one that they made themselves and then give feedback. One of the best analogies of being helpful but not overdoing it comes from the cousin of the nutrition coach, the personal trainer. Here's what I used to see all the time in commercial gyms. There'd be this eager personal trainer doing absolutely everything for their client. We're talking demoing exercise, answering questions, but especially loading their weights. And we're talking not just helping them load the weights, but loading every single weight for their client. So much so that the client would never really know what weight they're using or what to put on the bar. And the client would just sit there with their arms crossed, watching the entire thing go down. What do you think would happen if this client went back into the gym without the personal trainer? Would they know what they were doing? No, they wouldn't. Because they become way too reliant on the trainer to do things for them. And here lies the problem. As a nutrition coach, you need to be helpful, but not so much that clients don't do the work themselves. Being passionate is the common denominator of all nutrition coaches, but make sure to use your passion to inspire others and not let it get in the way of you attracting new clients and truly being able to help people. As great as all those tips were, if you're really serious about starting a nutrition coaching business, the next thing I'll have you do is check out the video I have linked up right here on the best way to start a nutrition coaching business in 2022.